How we doing, family? Celestial rising, divine afternoon, and grand night to the beautiful deity watching this video. It's your divine reflection, divine messenger, and we are back with another message. And I do apologize for my speech a little bit. I just got back from the dentist or whatever, so I'm in the car, and my mouth is a little numb still, but it's okay though, because I have etheric thoughts or cosmic thoughts right now as I'm in the car, and I had to get them out because, of course, these thoughts don't belong to me. They belong to the ether. They belong to the quantum supercomputer that we are distracted by. But of course, right now it's 8:10 in the AM in the rising, and I'm feeling great, feeling alive, and I honestly don't even want to hope, but I know that you're feeling alive as well, because of course we got more work to do. We have more messages to get out into the world, into the universe, and of course, we got a lot of information to gather as far as the second moon that's in our atmosphere, and with what's going on in our society, because we have a lot of distractions that are being portrayed into our atmosphere, into our climate. But with today's video, I wanted to discuss about guns and the youth, that they're using them out of fear and out of spite and out of trauma, out of misery, out of pain, because they're feeling a certain way from their past, to where their ego now is nurturing the gun. So our kids are not toting guns, they're not using guns, but the ego is using the gun, because the gun is technically using the ego per se. So it's a good thing to curse to even have a gun. And I also wanted to just talk a little bit too before I shot this video that G Herbo was discussing, because he was portraying, I'm not going to sit here and say that he wasn't speaking a little bit of facts, but he was also contradicting himself as well, because he was just speaking. You know what? I'm not even going to talk about it. I'm going to let you watch the video, and then when we're done, we'll get right back into what he was discussing. So here's his video. Let's get tuned into it.
Under us, I don't feel like they was like that for real. I feel like they just thought that shit was cool to do. And it just fucked them up. Like, you feel me? Like, a lot of these kids, they still had the potential to play sports and do all this shit. And they like, nah, hell no, I want to be like Keith. I want to be like her. Social media aspect of it, like, they have pressure to do it. So now it's like, if you ain't got no gun on you, a lame, or you a bitch. You feel me? Like, it wasn't like that with us, gang. Like, it was real street niggas from our hood that didn't even carry a gun, because they was just players. Like, niggas that just fuck with the bitches, but they real street niggas. They know how to fight. It's niggas who trap, who just sold drugs to take care of their family and didn't play with guns. But that didn't mean they was no bitch ass niggas, or they was the niggas that you play with. You feel me? Because a nigga will resort to that. But now they force this next generation to have to carry a gun. Like, now everybody is 30 niggas from a neighborhood, all with switches, and they shooting them. Like, when we was gang banging, you knew what niggas was like that. You feel me? Because it was only a handful of niggas that was like that. Now everybody like that now. You feel what I'm saying? Because they forcing their hand to do that. Like, oh yeah, you ain't no shit. You ain't sliding. You ain't doing this. You ain't doing that. When it's like, it was never like that when we was in the streets. You feel me?
All right, so with that being said, it's a contradiction, because for one, by you even discussing, the generation under him or whatever, he can't sit here and say that when he was growing up, it wasn't like that, because it's like you weren't observing the whole Chicago. You were observing just the perspective that you were rapping in, or the hood that you were living in per se. And the one thing is too, I also relate as well, because, and I don't want to sound like an old head too, but that's some old head shit right there. I'm not even old, but I'm old per se in spiritual age. But, growing up as well, when I was young, it's like I was just close. Well, I was always around older people. Like, I was always attracted spiritually and always communicate with older people, because they always took me under their wing. And I was always protected by them, which is also a smart thing for many people to do, because I didn't really like hanging out with people my age, because they weren't really in tune with just intellectual capabilities, because I just felt like they were just ignorant. But I feel like older people, I was just drawn to their intellect. I was just drawn to their mindset. But the thing is, too, I noticed that some people who were older than me, they were also just stupid. And they were, a lot of times, too, they were looking up to what I was doing as well. And they were trying to make sure that I had proper guidance so that I wouldn't follow in their footsteps. But the one thing that G Herbo contradicted himself on was the fact that he was saying that a lot of, just how, like, their upbringing, a lot of kids, and, like, them being inspired by Chief Keef and him. It's just like that right there. You basically telling yourself, because, for one, your lyrics inspired many other kids as well to tote guns or whatever, who grew up in the same situation as you, or who looked up to you as an inspiration to their inspiring lifestyle or their experience. Not only that, we got to understand too, with the rap scene, We got Georgia, Louisiana, California, New York, Miami, Detroit, Chicago. These different states, these terrestrial lanes or planes of existence, depending on the atmosphere, determines how the kid will live or how the teenager will live as well. Because from when a lot of these kids, they don't go outside anymore because you got TVs, you got tablets, you got video games. And the thing is too, we had these same things even back then, because I was still playing on the Xbox One, 360, PS2, PS3, PS4, and I would still go outside, so I had a balance. But as times change, it's like either way it goes, I won't stop going outside. But the kids now, I look out in my neighborhood, I don't see that many kids playing outside. I don't see them riding bikes. I don't see them playing basketball, football, soccer. I don't even see them really just walking. I see some kids walking, but a lot of times they're just walking just because they want to either make a play, like selling drugs, go buying some weed, trying to go fuck on some hoes or whatever, excuse my French. But I mean, that's just what some of them are doing right now. They don't really care to just do what kids used to do anymore, because times have changed. A lot of them are growing up faster than before. And to my elders, I don't mean to say that in a derogatory way, but to my older generation as well, a lot of these kids, they're not playing with y'all no more. I want y'all to understand that. So you can't sit here and try to little boy or little girl these kids anymore, because for one, the gun speaks for them. They can't talk anymore, because for one, that's why a lot of these kids are mentioning these stupid like internet lingos, talking about yapping or babbling. It's like these kids will use that terminology because, for one, they can't articulate their ignorance properly. Because of that, they fear that whenever they speak words, stupidity will come out and they'll embarrass themselves, because of course they don't know how to properly communicate with their emotions or their ego, and their ego will spew out ignorance. And when you confront them and when you check them, they get embarrassed and they'll feel more down about themselves through their insecurities. So because they're insecure, they will have this gun to make it feel as if they are superior through your inferiority. And because of that, you have to understand, you have to be careful as well, because I don't want to correlate this with somebody I know, but I have a coach that I coach with as far as AAU when it comes down to February and all that. But I have a coach that he got shot by being in a Corvette, and all he was doing was going to the gas station to get gas. But when he was explaining the story to me, he said that he ended up getting shot by some teenagers. And the thing is too, they didn't want nothing from him, but the car he was driving, they thought that he was an easy lick, and he ended up getting shot. Now, he survived, but he's like, that traumatizes him to this day. And the thing is, I don't want to put him in the forefront like that, but you know what I'm saying? Shout out to Coach Danny for that, even though I just put him in the forefront. God damn it, man. But you know what I'm saying? Shout out to Coach Danny. Now, of course, you don't know him, but if you see my YouTube videos as far as me coaching and all that when I was in Orlando, you probably did see him in the video. But that right there just indicates, I always like to attract my spirit with other people's spirits as well, because I can feel the pain, I can feel the hurt when it comes down to people who just want to live life and who are just fortunate to be in a fortunate situation. But there are some misfortunate people who want that fortune that some people have already worked hard for. And the thing is, these kids are not willing to work hard anymore. And that's exactly why the gun will work hard for them, because of course they don't want to work a job, they don't want to teach, they don't want to be a coach, they don't want to be a mentor, they don't want to do any of this stuff that we want to do. These kids now, they just want to harm people. Not all of them, a majority of them, because they have been harmed in their lifestyle as well. Not only that, the trauma gets so deep to the point to where we don't understand that some of these kids have been assaulted or victimized by their guardians or people that they trusted before. So it's like, imagine you come into this world as a boy or a girl, and the person that you trusted inappropriately touched on you or groomed you. And it's just like, if somebody groomed you or somebody touched you inappropriately to where they, arrested you, then it's just like that kid will have no outlet to go to, because of course when they try to express that to somebody, they'll feel as if that they're going to feel beneath themselves, or they'll feel like a bitch, like G Herbo stated. And the thing is too, kids don't want to feel like they're a bitch to, other bitches or other bitch people who act like bitches, excuse my French. But because of that, a lot of these kids now, they're understanding that, I don't know how to deal with my feelings. I don't want to go to a therapist. And then the thing is, too, the weed can't help them. So it's like, that's like why they're doing whippets as well, because they're understanding that, crack cocaine, weed, selling drugs, it won't help me. So the best way to help myself is to rob people. The best way to help myself is to kick down doors and to steal from people, to kill people, because they'll feel as if that they're the boss in their neighborhood or they're the boss in their gang or whatever. And the thing is, too, a lot of times to my youth out there, if you are entering a gang or if you're entering an affiliation, you got to understand as well, you're going to have to earn your stripes, my nigga. Like, it's just that simple. And by earning your stripes, some people are going to have to get eliminated. And if you're not willing to do that, then you can't be a part of their gang. But the thing is, though, some people are so lonely in this world to where all they have is the Bloods or the Crips or the Lokes or the GDs or the Kingpins. Like, it's just, or mafias. So by this happening, a lot of these kids don't understand that they're just joining because they're lonely on the inside, and because they don't know how to understand that you are not really lonely, but you feel alone for a temporary period of time, but you're never alone spiritually. Physically, you may be alone. Yes, and I understand that, but the streets will not love you. And the thing is, too, these guns are just nurturing our children. These guns are putting a blanket over our children's ego because this child feels safe in the gun's hands. It's so sad that some kids sleep with the gun as a nightlight or a pillow. And it's just like, you gotta understand, bro, that gun, when it's all said and done, when you live by the gun, you will die by the gun. And if you die by the gun, just understand, you can't be sad of the lifestyle that you were practicing and you were portraying to live in unconsciously. Because there are some people out here who do not care about your existence. So to my older generation out there, you have to be careful. You have to mind your business. But not only that, you have to stay aware of your surroundings, because there are some kids out there, there are the youth out there who will pop out of the woodworks and they will put that gun to your face and they will burn you. They will burn you. And it's sad out here. And the thing is, to thank the Almighty Creator that I haven't had to be in a situation like that, but I have seen some stuff like that, and it's something to play with. And I just thank the Almighty Creator that some people do appreciate my spirit for what it is, and like they don't bother me. But some people out there, y'all don't get that same exact luxury. That's why I'm trying to help you and spread this divinity towards you, because it's going to get worse and worse. Not only that, because we have 2 moons in the atmosphere, you got to understand too. And not only that, with the 5G towers, the 6G towers as well, these EMF waves, we're living in a microwave for one. And on top of that, by us being in a microwave, the energy that's being emitted right now is Luciferian and is in a survival instinctual way of our generation not understanding what's really going on. So you're not feeling rage, you're not feeling angry, but it's just your ego. It's your ego, what's the word? It's your ego trying to correlate itself or translate its programming with the program that's been programmed by EMF waves or these towers that are right by your house. And the thing is too, this microwave is literally right by your house, and it's just frying your neurons, because of course your programming can't really see the frequency that's being emitted from these towers that are literally right outside your house. Not only that, some of these trees, they're jammers, they're signal jammers. Not only that, the birds, they're not really birds for real. They are literally drones meant to spy on you. Not only that, the sun, the moon, they're all a base. They're all nothing but superficial computers. They're celestial bases or holographic bases or simulations of bases, to where these computers, these quantum computers, are siphoning your energy to the point to where they're emulating a frequency to the point to where subconsciously, if you are not in tune with yourself, you're not doing shadow work, if you're not healing yourself, then you are going to basically be killing yourself, your family, your friends, and the people that you claim as associates or whatever the case may be. So even to my young women out there as well, a lot of these men, they will use you as a medium to get to the other guy or the other boy that they want to pull up on and they want to shoot down, because of course they know that the pussy will have a man whip for sure. And the thing is too, if this boy has an opposition on the other side of the neighborhood and he likes this girl that you like, or you're going to use that girl to get to him. So to my women out there, to my little girls out there as well, you have to be careful who you're hanging around with as far as like the masculine frame, because a lot of these masculine men, they do not care about you. They only see you as a sexual object, and they only see you as a medium to get to the other man that they want to kill. So to my young men out there as well, you have to always watch out for who you're hanging around, and you got to watch out as well for who you are as a person and who you are as a spiritual being, because in this experience, no matter how great you do, there are some people who hate how great you are doing in your lifestyle. There are some people who are so envious of your success that they want to be successful just like you. And for them to be successful, the best way for them to succeed is by taking your life expectancy down a notch. Which is why it's all divine timing. You have to be careful with who you are interacting with. You have to be careful with who you're hanging around, who you are seeing your perception with. You have to be careful with who you're drinking with, who you're smoking with, who you're laughing with, because them same people that you claim as a brother or a sister or a friend, they will backstab you and they will kill you and they will backdoor you, which is exactly why. And the thing is too, I say backdoor because I have been backdoored before as well. Thank the Almighty Creator that I haven't been, saying killed before, but it's just like, there's something to play with, man. Y'all have to be careful out here because it's not only the lyrics too, but it's just the atmosphere that our youth has been brought up into, because it's like a lot of these kids, they were brought up into, gang culture or just lifestyle of just guns as well. And then what makes it even worse too are satanic, shadow government. By them placing guns into our hoods and our suburbs, it just makes it even worse as well, because they're not going to ban gun laws. But you got to understand as well, I'm not against guns, but I'm against guns, right? So it's obviously logic. And what I mean is too, if somebody comes into your house and it's like it's 5 robbers, they try to come into your house, they all got guns, but you have no gun in sight. Who do you think gonna win that battle? Because you're not gonna fight 5 people that have guns like AK-47s with switches on them or Uzis. You're not gonna win that battle. I'm gonna be real with you. I wouldn't win that battle. So the thing is too, I say like a gun is useful for defense, but it's not useful if you're gonna sit here and threaten people that aren't a threat. Why would you threaten somebody who's not a threat to your lifestyle? That makes you even more of a threat to get killed, literally. And the thing is too, like I said earlier, by that quote, living by the gun and dying by the gun. If you kill somebody over retaliation or off of revenge, just know you are going to have to look over your shoulder for the rest of your life. That's exactly why if you are raised into this environment, you do not have to live in that environment. You can literally walk away from that. But the thing is though, it's hard when you're lonely. When you're raised by the streets, all you have is the people who are hanging out in the streets because that's all you know, that's all you see. But the thing is though, it's okay to not want to be a gang member. It's okay to be a lame. It's okay to be a loser. It's okay to be a nerd. Because the thing is, at the end of the day, the nerd always wins. But on top of that though, always defend yourself. You should learn how to fight. So take boxing lessons, do taijutsu, learn karate, learn just different MMA, learn jiu-jitsu, learn different techniques to defend yourself. You don't have to use a gun to hurt somebody or to defend yourself. But if you do, defend yourself and your family. Excuse me. But when you're doing that, you have to always be wary of why you're using that gun. Because the thing is too, when you take somebody's life, just know your ego will replay that same exact program every single day, every single night. When you lay down, that's all you'll think about. That person's look in their eyes whenever you took their life. You have to be careful when you hold that gun, because I promise you, your spirit does not want to hold that gun, but your ego does, because your ego feels better, it feels superior, it feels validated now. Your ego feels something. Your ego feels a sense of safety or urgency. You feel as if now that you're on top of the world, can't nobody tell you shit. If you watch the movie Juice, that's the same exact indication. When Tupac, he had that gun, he felt like he was just all high and mighty till he got killed by the gun. But who really had the juice though? Literally. So at the end of the day, man, I just want to make this video because I just felt like that was an important message, because it's like, I'm so tired of influencers or even rappers trying to make it seem as if that they're not the problem to this situation. Like, you actually are, because you're rapping about guns and violence and all this different stupid shit. And it's just like, you can't be upset and you can't sit here and talk about kids not looking up to you. And then it's like you're happy about that. You shouldn't be proud that people are looking up to you when you're talking about ignorance. It's just like, nigga, that's your fault as well. But then too, it's not your fault, because if you are easily influenced by lyrics, or if you're easily influenced by mysticism or alchemy, you are weak-minded. Literally, you are weak-minded, because there's no way that a lyric should get you to feel a certain way about living your life. You should not have somebody tell you how to live your life for you. Take care of yourself, take care of your spirit, take care of your mindset. We are living in spiritual warfare right now. We are literally in World War III. So mind your thoughts, mind your subconscious mind. Always love yourself, take care of your family, take care of your health, and take care of your mindset, because all you have is your health and all you have is your mindset. Have a great day, God and Goddess.